Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Full Melt.
Are you high? What are you talking about?
This is the Full Melt.
Give me a break.
The Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
Welcoming you. Jeez. How about that for a stubble? Welcoming you back to the PetPain.com studios live. This is the Full Melt Show. Oh, good Lord. There has been a lot of stuff with the Michigan law. It's all the buzz going down here in Michigan. Can't move sideways without somebody talking about, oh no, what am I going to do now? I think there's a lot of confusion over yesterday's show, frankly. Well, let's face it, it is a 52-page Supreme Court decision that came down yesterday, and let's face it, also, 52 pages is a lot to swallow. I mean, 52 pages is a lot to read in a regular article in the newspaper. But when you start parsing it up in legalese, that same 52 pages gets a lot tougher to swallow. It's not easy reading. If you're a layman and you've never, kind of delved into judicial legalese, started parsing words and trying to understand what some legal terms mean, and then also the way that these syllabuses or opinions are written, it can be really tough to figure out. I mean, I saw post after post after post last night of people talking about how they were consuming this in chunks and trying to process it, trying to make sense of it. Even the lawyers on yesterday's show were like, look, I read this over once. I have a general idea what this means, and I get the gist of it, but there's more to be hashed out. You can't just get it all in the first reading. Some of it you might overlook. You might miss how one part might be connected to another because in your initial read, all your efforts into that consumption and not into making the connections between the parts. And this is much of what's been going on today. A lot of papers writing stories, some of them not including it at all. I didn't see any posts in the TV news about this. It's not to say that they didn't happen. I'm just saying I didn't see any. I looked. I searched for them, but I didn't see any. The newspapers have picked this up and run with it pretty good. This is major law in Michigan. These were big newspaper stories. This was an impactful story. It was an impactful event. Anytime the Supreme Court of any state or the country makes ruling, it has huge impact, else they wouldn't be making the ruling. But in this arena, in this state, it has strange appearance. Because not only is the ruling somewhat confusing if you just on initial glance, because some parts, I guess to me, when I read it, some parts don't look like they agree with other parts. They clearly do when you go back and look it over. But on its face, it looks like this was a compromise between the justices. They made a unanimous decision. All of them agreed to what they said. But basically what they said is that if you're going to present in Michigan, just to go over it really quickly again to give you a thumbnail of it, if you've got a medical marijuana card, you've got some protection against arrest and prosecution. I mean, that's what you've got. And then additionally, the one other thing that the card provides, in the event that your limited immunity doesn't apply, you have what's considered an affirmative defense. An affirmative defense means that you're not arguing with your guilt as to what they're claiming you did. What you're saying is that I have some permission for it. I have immunity from this issue within these bounds, within this stripe. And that's all you get. Now, the way they've done this in Michigan in the courts is when they charge somebody, first off, they're saying, well, we don't care about we don't recognize your stupid card. We're arresting you. You're just a criminal. So they arrest you, and then they find a reason to overcome the section for protection for the limited immunity. They're going to say, well, this conduct was outside of the act. He had a little bit too much weight. His door wasn't locked. Her her card wasn't on her. I mean, if you don't have your card, the courts have ruled, and this has not been settled law as it relates to the Supreme Court. I think this has just been argued, if I'm not mistaken, either in trial court or in the appellate court, about whether or not, if you've got your card on you or not. So if you've got your card, and you obviously got it from the state, and you're found, with marijuana, or you're found with your grow, and you don't have your card right in your physical hands, on your person, within reach. This is an example of where the courts have said, no, your protection against arrest and prosecution doesn't apply because we can't see your card. Here's my argument against that. They can clearly look it up. They've got your identification. They know who you are. They know what your address is. They can look up your driver's license and connect you to the system through your regular identification standards. It bugs me that they want to say, because they can see in the system that you have a valid card, that they've issued you one. You just weren't able to give it to them in hand because it's back at the house, or it's in my purse, or my wallet's in my pants. But they won't recognize that limited immunity against arrest and prosecution. Now, what they're going to let you to rely on is this affirmative defense. Hey, Mr. Judge, I'm guilty, or Mr. and Mrs. Jury, I'm guilty of this. In fact, I'm not even going to address it. I'm not even going to address my guilt or innocence. What I'm saying is that my Section 8 defense says I am entitled to do this. That I still have a defense for medical marijuana use that you can't really prosecute me for. There is a prosecution underway because there is a court proceeding and you're presenting this at trial to a jury. In most cases, you'll not get to a jury because in this state, most judges have not let you present this evidence in court. In fact, I can't think of any cases that I know of, and I'm sure there may be a couple. Oh, boy, I'd really like to examine those by themselves, where people have been denied a Section 8 defense at trial. They've been denied their Section 4 defense, and they've been denied a Section 8 defense, which seems completely antithetical to the idea of the law in the first place. All you get are those two protections. Why would then you end up in court being denied both? And this has been the frustration in Michigan with regards to this law. So when the Supreme Court makes a ruling like this, they partly affirm and partly, I always forget this other term, they affirm it and they partly overturn the Court of Appeals' decision. In both cases, Hartwick and Tuttle, they were very similar cases. But what they've established through the takeaway through this ruling, this opinion, is that if you want to assert a Section 4 defense to say that you can't arrest me or prosecute me, this is before you go to court. Remember, you can't arrest me or prosecute. You can't charge me because I stand behind this shield. What they're saying is that this is the courts have determined that this is a matter of law as to whether or not you're entitled to a Section 4 defense, and this needs to be heard at a judge at a pretrial hearing before the trial. And in order to be successful at this, you must prove with a preponderance of the evidence, that means 51% of believability versus the prosecution, certain elements, and there's 4 of them. And, because I'm not trying to make this show about this, we did this yesterday, but it's going to kind of go down real quick. So without listing these 4 elements, because, I don't want to get into that detail, but these 4 elements, you've got to prove them with a preponderance of the evidence. The burden is on you to prove these 4 elements with overwhelming evidence versus the prosecution. And if you're successful at doing that, then the trial would be dismissed. Your charges would be dismissed. They would go away. Now, I think what you're going to see as a result of this ruling, that you're going to see more to Section 8 defenses. Because, as David Radoy said yesterday, these are winnable now in Michigan. Before he said they were impossible to win. Because what they would do is they would charge you with, say, the example we used yesterday is 4 crimes. They'd say, okay, you got cultivation, you got distribution, you got manufacture, whatever. And then you got this sale. Now, if the cultivation and the distribution and the manufacture all are compliant under the Medical Marijuana Act. In other words, the prosecution looks at them and say those three things were compliant. But the fourth one, this sale that was not compliant, takes away your immunity for the other three. Because you did this one bad thing, all the other things are also tainted as bad. And so they would say you're not entitled to a defense, a Section 4 defense. We're going to arrest and prosecute you, and we're going to find you on all of these charges because you don't have any immunity as it relates to the first three. Supreme Court yesterday says no. Each one of these elements stand on their own. They're not related to the others. And you've got to prove each of these four elements true beyond the preponderance of the evidence in order to be successful. So your trial gets dismissed. And in the event that they say no, you're not entitled to Section 4 immunity, and you've got to go to trial, you still have to have this pre-trial hearing to determine whether or not a jury will hear your affirmative defense. And there's some specifics regarding the affirmative defense, and it's still a difficult, hurdle to overcome, this affirmative defense. But it's certainly not impossible anymore. There's a pathway to success, and now it's a clear and written pathway. And before there wasn't a clear pathway, prosecutors were willy-nilly to just kind of make up what they wanted. Judges the same way. They would just decide this based on how they saw it, what they saw and what they felt. That's what they did. I mean, these are triers of fact. They're going to act based on what they saw and what they understand. And ultimately, we're all people. They're going to drag their own personal biases into their decision. It's almost impossible as a human being not to do that. And I think in many cases, a lot of these guys are working together against certain objects. You'd never be able to prove it. Certain ideas. I mean, these guys all go to, they work with each other every day. But in the long run, you can understand that there are going to be people that are not happy with the Supreme Court ruling. And I think there's a lot of people who are just maybe misinformed because I see more good to this than bad. Look, I don't like the idea in the first place that you've got to go through these Section 4 and Section 8 hearings. The Supreme Court said they don't necessarily like it either. The fact of the matter is they're just interpreting what they see in black and white because unlike the law that is written by the legislators, where they've given some intent, they've actually carved out a paragraph that says what we mean by this is this. And they've given some definition to it, right? They've actually gone out of their way to define what this paragraph means in layman's terms, so to speak, or to deny any. Don't misread this as meaning this. When you pass a citizens' initiative, and this is going on again this year and next, so be careful. Be careful what you wish for, because the people of the state of Michigan created those Section 4 and Section 8 defenses. And like it or not, we got to live with that. More about the news of marijuana, talking about automatic dispensaries.
You're getting the full melt.
Got something to hide? Canalock offers discreet and effective storage solutions that destroy odor, so nobody knows. Canalock is a patented charcoal-activated bag that discreetly stores your marijuana. Canalock is made from the same material as military chemical warfare suits. Get yours at canalock.com. Visit canalock.com to learn more about no-smell technology.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Dorr Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571. 571.
Get growing with GrowMax. Indoor, outdoor, beginner, or a warehouse full of Gavitas. Probiotic organics, or huge production with Max Power monster aeroponics systems. We can help you rock it. YouTube GrowMax with 2 X's. Customer service is why we're blowing up. And I'm Dave. My cell number is 906-221-2111. We also specialize in electrical and HVAC and new double-ended bulb technology. 906-221-2111. Get growing. GrowMax.
Introducing Sacred Elements, a place for natural and alternative healing for the mind, body, and soul. Sacred Elements. It's It's one place, all solutions.
Registered, licensed, certified, ordained.
Sacred elements.
Massage, hypnosis, Reiki,
Sacred elements.
raindrop, aroma and color therapy, body detox, ministry, life coaching, weight and nutrition counseling.
Sacred elements.
Next to the Sweet Leaf, 400 South Dorr Highway, Flint.
11 to 7 daily, closed Sunday.
Call 810-259-2570.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio show.
Oh, boy. Yes. It just leaves an awful taste in my mouth. I mean, there's a lot of things that left bad taste in my mouth, but, something about artificial intelligence just, really does it. I'm not kidding. I guess maybe I'll play. I was not going to do this because, I don't know, I do have some integrity. But I'm going to do it anyways, because sometimes I don't have integrity. Did I save it? I did. Hang on. I got to look it up now. Hold on. Just now that I mentioned it. Because now that I brought this idea of artificial intelligence up, I'm just going to... This is an example of what I'm talking about as it relates to artificial intelligence. We did have some phone problems with... that we've been cleared up, apparently, today. I don't know. I'm going to check it now. Let's check it out. And the phone's cleared up. It's not too noisy. Hey. Checking line by line. There's line 3, line 4. Oh, it's not too bad. Line 5, line 6. Hey, they're all working. So there's a dial tone, and the noise isn't killing you. So, I've been working with AT&T trying to fix this. Remember, this all relates back to artificial intelligence. Because there's a story about, some form of artificial intelligence trying to dispense marijuana. And I don't know. Anytime I've had to interact with something that is not human, I know you've done this. I'm not talking about the ones that are like pick the button number 1 or button number 2. That's kind of just a program that's running through. It's not smart, so to speak. This computer at AT&T, do I have the part that I'm looking for? Because I can't make it out. Let's just see. Rewind. Is it going to rewind for me? I don't know. Computer's not working. The hell? Why does this happen to me? I need a better computer, admittedly. Let's just see if now maybe it'll do it this way. Is it here? Let's just see. I'm playing around here. No, that's not it. I don't know if I recorded the artificial intelligence stuff. I'll be mad if I didn't now. Because I was swearing at it. I mean, I was cussing at it. I don't like talking to machines. I mean, I just don't. Let's see if this is. Oh, hang on. Is this the part? And the reason I'm doing it is... No. Damn it. I think I might have deleted the artificial intelligence part. That bugs me. I record these conversations because, customer service is aberrant. Let me just see if I can do it this way. I think this is the AT&T line. I'm dialing out, but it's not doing very good. It's not paying attention. Oh, this makes me mad. Is it still dialing?
Thank you for calling AT&T. I'm a new virtual assistant that can understand complete sentences. Are you calling about the account associated with the number 248?
Oh, see, I'm going to take this part out. And so, hello? No, I'm not calling about that number. I'm calling about a different number.
Hold for just 1 second.
Why? You can't figure it out?
Please tell me your phone or account number.
I don't want to tell you my phone or account number. I just want to talk to a person. Can I talk to a person?
One more moment.
Another moment.
In order to get you to a representative who is trained to help with your specific issue, I need to get your account number. Please tell me
wait a minute. I already told. Wait a minute.
About today, or a phone number associated with your account.
No, I don't want to do that. I already told you. I just want an operator. Give me a damn operator. Can I get a human being, please? understands complete sentences, my ass.
Bear with me, please.
No, I don't want to bear with you. You're a stupid machine.
No problem. Your account number is a 9 or 10-digit number that appears on your monthly statement.
I already know where my account
Number.
Hey,
Please tell me the AT&T account number you are calling about today, or a phone number associated with your account.
just give me a damn person. I don't want the stupid machine. You're dumb as a rock. Artificial intelligence, my ass.
I understand you want to speak to a person, but so we don't send your call to the wrong place, what is the reason you called today?
Hey, what color is your mother's hair?
Either I didn't understand you, or I don't know how to respond to your question.
Yeah, because you're dumb. I'm just hanging up on you. I can't take it anymore. This is what I'm saying. They want to say that this is artificial intelligence. Hey, I can understand complete sentences. No, you can't. You're still dumb as a rock. And you'll never replace human beings. That's my point of view. It really gets my goat. I don't know. Does it get your goat when you have to interact with a machine when you're calling about something that's important to you? I mean, frankly, if I've got to call these people, it takes me, 10, 15 minutes to get through that stupid mechanism. Frankly, I think it's just a big babysitter. It's just a way to keep you busy interacting until they can come up with somebody that can actually do what you need them to do. It's an automatic 15-minute hold time before it even begins your encounter with getting in queue for anything. And then when you do go through there, the stupid machine sends you to the wrong place. So even if you tell them, look, I need somebody in billing, you end up waiting for 20 minutes, you get somebody in repair. It just drives me insane. So there's this story that came out today about, let me just look it up here. Where did it go now? Oh, this is going to make me mad. Having a great day today. Not to get sued, not that one. Banking, not that one. Michigan stuff, not that one. Not the girl in jail. I want to talk about that. Michigan Supreme Court. Now, here we go. Virtual Budtender. I mean, there's a lot of marijuana news. I rifled through it all day long. I had to toggle back until I could find the story. Because I did rifle through it all day long. Frankly, I do it every day. So, this is a story. This is a Reuters story as portrayed in Fortune. Is this Fortune.com? It doesn't tell me. It's Fortune magazine. It's online. I'm sure this is printed as well, but this is. Do they still print Fortune magazine? They might. They're fortunate. Using cutting-edge technology, Potbotics wants to change how the medical marijuana industry treats patients. I hope it's better than AT&T's virtual assistant, the one that's dumb as a box of rocks. Bag of Hammers has more intelligence than that thing. I just displayed it to you. A common criticism of the medical marijuana industry that a large portion, if not the majority, of patients are just feigning illness so they can get stoned legally. Potbotics co-founder David Goldstein doesn't deny that's true of some users, but sees much larger problems at play within the industry. Right now, doctors give a general cannabis recommendation. It's just a card that cannabis may be beneficial to you. That's what it says. There's no follow-up, no background check into your medical history. There's no real education process. It leads to people abusing the system, he says. Founded in 2013, the biotech company aims at helping change how medical marijuana patients across the country are treated using 3 new revolutionary products. The first is called BrainBot, which lets doctors use EEG helmets to measure patients' neurological reactions to different kinds of cannabis in order to accurately prescribe a particularly helpful strain. Really? So you're going to go in, you're going to sit down, and you're going to put on this helmet, and then you're going to try something, and then they're going to see how your brain responds. Sounds a little techie, doesn't it? Next is the Potbot app, a virtual budtender, basically a marijuana. This is a marijuana hawker that comes in-app and in-store kiosk forms and recommends strains and strengths based on patient ailments and previous cannabis use. Finally, Nanopot scans the DNA of marijuana seeds to help growers optimize the growth of their plants for desired levels of THC and other active ingredients. Remember, this story was entitled Medical Marijuana Firm Potbotics to Launch Virtual Budtenders. I'm still trying to get to the virtual budtenders. I see no virtual budtending happening with these devices. Goldstein, it says, wait a minute, maybe went too far. Yeah, no. Goldstein came up with the idea for the marijuana products after watching an elderly family member suffer from pain and inflammation following a surgery. She had a very low quality of life with an opiate-based medication for pain relief. I started reading about cannabidiol, or CBD, an active ingredient in marijuana that relieves pain without any psychoactive effects, he says. I was able to get her a cannabis medical card, and we were able to look at THC and CBD-infused topical creams, so she was never smoking it, but I got a lot of relief from it. Or she got a lot of relief from it. I was really galvanized by the fact that this is something other patients should have access to. Goldstein, who previously co-founded marketing company CrowdPunch, studied the hard data from numerous studies, particularly ones from Israel, considered to be the world leader in medical marijuana, to create a one-of-the-kind BrainBot software. I mean, this is right out of Lost in Space. BrainBot software. He then teamed up with his father, Dr. Barak Goldstein, who uses EEG testing on patients with pre-Alzheimer's symptoms to determine the effectiveness of different drugs on different patients. I started really wondering why wasn't this type of procedure in place for the cannabis industry, he says. Using independently manufactured FDA-approved EEG equipment that's readily available to physicians, they invented the online program, which measures biological and neurological markers for epilepsy, concussions, and post-traumatic stress. Afterwards, using cannabinoid inhalers, patients consumed marijuana while doctors measured how differing strains helped soothe patients' problem areas. We asked them to come in between 3 or 4 times, he said. That way we can get a model of relief based on different cannabinoid levels and a better recommendation of cannabinoid levels for that specific patient. Better personalize that recommendation in a way that doctors can really adapt into their process without having to learn a whole new field of study. The data then goes to a cloud-based, HIPAA-compliant PopBotics program so experts can analyze the results. The EEG we use only takes 15 minutes to apply, and within 20 to 30 minutes of training, anyone could apply it, whether it be a nurse or a doctor, he says. It gets quality checked in-state by a neurologist to make sure that the actual EEG reading was performed correctly, and then after, we give feedback about what those cannabinoid levels said about that patient. Since marijuana strains have different amounts of active ingredients, each variety has different potentials for medicinal use. Knowing that a certain cannabinoid level will help ease a specific ailment allows PopBotics help a doctor to recommend the right variety for each patient, even if the strain name might sound like something out of a Cheech and Chong movie. No doctor is ever going to recommend Alpha OG Kush to a patient. They're not going to use that terminology. But if they said, look for a strain with a higher CBD value, with this kind of range of CBN, now we're talking something that's a little bit more digestible and acceptable in the medical community. However, because strains vary so much, around 750 are on the market, though only about 300 to 350 are verified to be genetically unique strains, Goldstein and company treated PopBot, a recommendation platform that will be available as an app, as a kiosk for dispensaries for the platform. They asked some very basic information, he says, at first. What state you're in, what's your previous cannabis experience, what's your age, your weight, your gender. And then the very next question we ask is, what is the ailment you're looking to learn more about, and what are the symptoms of the ailment you're looking to relieve? The app will then display a number of recommendations, different recommendations about strains with varying cannabinoid levels so that users can look for the ones that match their doctor's advice and tell which dispensary has the necessary strains as well as relevant ingestion methods. But which way do you take it in? Meanwhile, the in-store PopBot kiosks he hopes soon to launch won't serve as vending machines but will be able to reflect a dispensary's inventory. Really? Real live budtenders, Goldstein says, won't lose their jobs because of PopBot. They'll still need to talk people through the process of buying the drug and help soothe some patients' apprehensions. He notes that many patients are now baby boomers who aren't familiar with all the new ingestion methods and strains. They say, when can I get a Chardonnay or a Zinfandel? I know what I'm buying, but when I walk into a dispensary, I have no idea what's going on. PopBot, with the help of the budtender, see, it's not a virtual budtender. It's a budtender's assistant. See, it's still dumb as a rock. I'm just telling you. With the help of a budtender, will likely eliminate that confusion. With PopBot helping consumers and BrainBot aiding... Why don't all the bots? I really don't like bots. With PopBot helping consumers and BrainBot aiding doctors, NanoPot exists to improve cultivators' harvests. We look at the genetics and specific enzyme matrices of seeds to better understand their growth patterns. What that leads us to is better understand down the line how to start optimizing for the specific cannabinoid, how to better replicate good medical grows, Goldstein explains. If we're going to start recommending strain names and cannabinoid levels, it's important to know how to replicate those levels. Nanopot, however, isn't as far along as Potbotic's other products, and Goldstein estimates it will launch in late 2016, while Potbot and BrainBot, they're slower, dumb as a box of rocks, I'm telling you, are slated for release this fall. Aside from adding more scientific data and legitimacy to the medical marijuana industry, Goldstein also hopes his company can help provide more information and better access to patients. They can come to a doctor and say, I've got stress. The doctor gives them a cannabis recommendation or something deeper, something that they can follow up on to ask, hey, how's your cannabinoid therapy been treating you? Have you found relief, he says. We engage in a deeper level of conversation, then here's your card, go on your way, have fun. We wouldn't expect anyone ever to go through that process when it comes to painkillers. And it is a painkiller. I mean, this is a medicine. There's going to be a use and a place for, technology. Technology is a good thing. I am not anti-technology. What I am is anti-stupidity. It's really dumb when people assume that technology will replace an existing, realm. People back in the late 80s predicted that before now that all jobs would be replaced by computerized robots. Some of that's happened. Some of that's actually come true, hasn't it? I mean, you never saw before. You look back before, they're building, all of the old cars, etc. Did we lose? Oh, we did. Oh, how stupid. Where are we at here? I'm sorry, we lost our throughput. So I don't know what happened with there's something wrong with the computer, and we've lost a break. So I'm just going to wrap up here. This is what happens. I'm just telling you. If it's not the phones, it's the damn computer. It's just completely frozen on me. It's dumb as a rock, I'm telling you. There's nothing good about technology. I'm going to revoke everything I said previously. Forget everything I said good about technology. Screw you. All I've got is a circle with a line through it. It says, no, you can't play. You can't stop. Oh, see, now it lets me do it. All I got. Oh, there you go. Oh, how stupid is that? I give up. I had to start over again. We're going to go a little bit over. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass at this point. I don't. I just want to kick technology in the teeth. Some days technology is a great assistance. Look, I wouldn't be reaching. My voice wouldn't be hitting you now. And maybe you'd regret it. I don't know. If it wasn't for technology. But some of it doesn't work so well, does it? I mean, I just gave you plenty of example of that. The phones are not working so well. That's old. That's 100-year-old technology, for crying out loud. Can't get it right today. And then the computers. They can't get that right either. Let's see if they can get this story right about the girl that died in jail. The girl died in jail after a traffic incident. They claim that she was on pot. Maybe smoked it in jail.
You're getting the full melt.
Get growing with GrowMax. Indoor, outdoor, beginner, or a warehouse full of Gavitas. Probiotic organics, or huge production with max power monster aeroponics systems. We can help you rock it. YouTube GrowMax with 2 X's. Customer service is why we're blowing up. And I'm Dave. My cell number is 906-221-2111. We also specialize in electrical and HVAC and new double-ended bulb technology. 906-221-2111. Get growing. GrowMax.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other hemp-based products for humans, the allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pet.
It's not easy out there, but it can be easier. And when it comes to medical marijuana in Michigan and chronic pain management, Dr. Bob Townsend, renowned for his patient advocacy and deep understanding of how patients and medical marijuana certifications fit together, makes it his hallmark to educate and provide the best holistic treatment for your condition. His knowledgeable staff makes you feel warm and welcome, and Dr. Bob makes you feel well. With locations across the state in Cadillac and Gaylord, Kalamazoo, Marquette, Mount Pleasant, Muskegon, Saginaw, Traverse City, you can't beat the convenience and feeling you get knowing you have someone on your side that cares. Denali Healthcare is on the web at denalihealthcaremi.com. Get answers to your holistic health questions or schedule an appointment now by calling 989-339-4464. Chronic pain management and holistic health answers is what they do. It's all they do. DenaliHealthcareMI.com. Get your certification and peace of mind now by making an appointment with Dr. Bob Townsend at 989-339-4464. Introducing
Sacred Elements.
a place for natural and alternative healing for the mind, body, and soul.
Sacred Elements.
It's one place, all solutions.
Alkaline water, herbal remedy, essential oils,
Sacred Elements.
natural and organic shampoo, lotion, pain cream, bath salt,
Sacred Elements.
beeswax candles and handmade crafts, canes and walking sticks, artwork, jewelry, and repurposed goods.
Sacred Elements.
Next to the Sweet Leaf, 400 South Dordt Highway, Flint.
11 to 7 daily, closed Sunday.
Call 810-259-2570.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and you're listening to the Full Milk Show.
My heart is wasted.
All right, so you know that we're on the air Monday through Friday from 7 until 8 p.m. You know that, Robert, don't you? Do you know you're on the air Monday through Friday from 7 until 8 p.m.?
Yeah, that's exactly why I was calling. I was calling to make sure that was still happening again. I do remember. I didn't want to just talk to you through it. Just wait a time.
You didn't want to do what now?
I said I wasn't calling just to shoot the breeze.
You weren't? What, were you calling to tell me about something marijuana related?
We can.
We can.
Yeah, that's related.
It's related. Hang on, I'm going to plug you in. Just give me half a second here. This is Robert.
No, I don't want to go on.
You're already there. I mean, that's what we're doing. Then. I mean, we just came out of break.
Yeah, I don't want to be like a topic.
You don't want to be a topic?
Or a segment.
Or a segment. No topic or segment from the Bobby.
No, it's going to have to be this comment, and then that's it.
Just this comment? That's the only comment? Is this comment? Is that the quote I can use?
Well, yeah. Well, it was a generalized comment. It wasn't a specific comment.
Are you
You have to also paraphrase the context.
Are we working on the mobile app? How's that working out?
That's also what I was doing. Yeah.
It is. Robert's been working code to make it. There's a dings going on in here. Robert's been working code to get a mobile app working. Is it getting close? Can we start testing it sometime soon? Because I'm excited about that idea.
Not just close, but it is test-worthy as we speak.
It is test-worthy.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a chubby now. I've got a chubby for after the radio show so I can look up the test.
Wait. Are we on the...
Yeah, we're definitely on the air.
Corporate.
I mean, this is what happened. If you call me on my personal cell phone while I'm on the air, I'm going to plug you in. I'm just going to warn you.
Yeah, I think I might remember next time.
You see that's the
conversation.
So you're saying after the show I can call you up and we can test a version of the mobile app on the iPhone.
Well, it works though on the Android one. I'm almost certain it will though. That's what I was hoping to accomplish at some point.
Dang. Well, I will. So when we get off the radio, I'll be able to. You're going to send me an email with a link to the test version of the app.
Yeah.
Is it going to be for Android or because I've got both? I've got the Android phone and I've got the iPhone. Which one's it going to be for? Both?
Hopefully both, Steve. But I'm not. Definitely the Android, but I'm pretty sure we can probably test both. So
I'm so excited! Yeah. Yay! We've been working on this for 2 years. So if what he's saying is true, it's a hole-in-one today. So I was just complaining about technology, Bobby. I was just talking about how bad...
Wait, if it's a hole-in-one, don't I get a prize?
You might get a prize. I might have a giant stuffed animal for you.
Ooh.
I also... and a shoestring. I have a shoestring and a paperclip. Will that help?
No, I'll pass on those two.
No shoestring, no. Well, there was once a guy who traded a red paperclip for a house.
Yeah, but I don't like that guy.
You don't like that guy. I like the idea of the mobile app. It's technology. It's technology that will help us. I was just complaining on the radio about technology wanting to kick it in the teeth today. It so far has not been my friend, but perhaps this will explain it. We've sucked all the good luck out of the current technology that I've been complaining about and put it into the arena of the mobile app so that the good luck is there. That's why I've had all the bad luck with the previous technology.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
That's the theory I'm going to go with. Robert, I'll call you after we're off the show.
No, I want to stay on the air now.
No, you
I've already turned my comments into a segment, and now I want.
Now you want to finish the segment. All right, well, I have no objections to you finishing the segment.
All right, well, this is Robert's segment, signing off.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Robert. There he goes. He flies in like the Batman. He's like, poof, 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 here I am. And then before you're just getting ready to the fact that he's perched up there with his great big bat wings. He flies off again. That's how Robert does. So we were talking about this. Do we have time? We better have time. I should actually advance the program because we lost that whole... I'm going to do it, right? We're going to go to there now. This is perfect, actually. So let's stop and start. There, I advanced it. We should be somewhere in the realm of normal time now. I cut about 5 minutes out of this segment. Just like that. Instantly with the good technology. You see, my theory is correct. It's all going to get better. So I'm looking forward to that from Robert. We were talking about this thing earlier before we went to break about this this girl. Now, this girl, you've heard about her in the news. She was the one that you've seen in the video where she's having a regular traffic stop. Now, a lot of people, and I would agree with them, that this girl was one of these driving while black girls. You know, this is what the pullover for. You were black, you were driving through here, so I got to pull you over and check you out. Like you're some tainted version of a person. It's so racially biased, it makes me sick. Because it's true. The driving while black thing is so very true. You think I'm kidding? Go watch the posts by some major famous black stars who have been pulled over because they're driving a car and they hadn't done anything wrong. There's a bunch of those videos online. There's 3 or 4 of them from 3 or 4 black people I know that have posted these kinds of videos. I think Chris Rock was one of them. Chris Rock gets pulled over in a regular car. And, he claimed right then, look, I'm getting pulled over for driving while black. Just, sorry I was driving. I think this is what's going on with this girl. Now, this story is from Fox News. And, I don't really even like to read stories from Fox News because they're so tainted. But experts say that Sandra Bland's toxicology report raises the possibility she used marijuana in jail. Associated Press, Dateline, Hempstead, Texas. An initial toxicology report for Sandra Bland, who died in a Texas jail cell 3 days after her arrest during a traffic stop, raises the possibility that she may have used marijuana while in custody, the experts said. 2 of them. The amount of THC, one of the active components of marijuana in Bland's system, was 18 micrograms per liter, according to the report released Monday. That's more than 3 times the legal limit for drivers in Colorado and Washington, states that permit the recreational use of marijuana. I don't think it's possible to rule out the possibility of use while in jail, said University of Florida toxicology professor Bruce Goldberger, who reviewed the report for the Associated Press. Bland was impaired by marijuana at the time of her death, Goldberger said. Bland, a black 28-year-old from suburban Chicago, was found dead in the Waller County Jail on July 13th. Authorities said that Bland hanged herself with a garbage bag, a finding that her family disputes. And I would, frankly, too. She was in custody after a traffic stop for failing to use a turn signal. It escalated into a physical confrontation with a white state trooper. If you've seen this video, you would agree with me that this guy went way overboard. Now, mind you, she was a little bit combative. She was like, "Look, don't touch me." He had no real permission, I think, to order out of the car. I think in the state that she was in, they got permission to order you out of the car without any other thing. Because she wasn't compliant with that, he's reaching in. I think did he spray her with pepper spray? I don't know. It looked like he was trying to if he didn't. And then he reached in, and she was like, "No, don't touch me. You don't have permission to touch me. I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was, you don't even tell me why you're pulling me over. Why are you pulling me out of my car?" It's that. There's no reason that should have escalated into her being walked around the back of the car outside of the range of the cameras on the police vehicle. Why couldn't you just arrest her at the foot of the vehicle like you do on the expressway? If you were on the expressway with an embankment there, I'm just arguing these other black things, the black while driving thing. You wouldn't have to do. So let me just finish this story because we're running out of time now that I reset the time. Now I have to reset the time back again. Damn it. Stop and start. I added like at least 3 more minutes back in because I had to rant a little bit about the whole going out of range. He slams her to the ground. I mean, it's wholly inappropriate. Robert Johnson, chief toxicologist at the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office in Fort Worth, Texas, told the AP that the THC level as high as Bland's suggested she had either access to the drug in jail or she was a consistent user of the drug and her body had accumulated THC to the point that it was slowly released over time. But Johnson added, I have never seen a report in the literature or from any other source of residual THC that high 3 days after someone stops using the drug. Goldberger, who is also a president of the American Board of Forensic Toxicology, said that Bland had a remarkably high concentration of THC for someone who had been in jail for 3 days. He noted that while the chronic users who stop using the drug will have a higher concentration than non-chronic users, the concentrations do not persist at this level, at least in my opinion. He defined chronic as someone who uses cannabis daily, sometimes repeatedly. Waller County District Attorney Elton Mathis declined to comment Monday on the toxicology report, saying final findings were still being prepared. However, one of his prosecutors, Warren Diapram, I think that's Diapram, said last week that he wouldn't rule out the drug being smuggled into the jail. It may be relevant as to her state of mind to determine what happened on the street, he said. It may be relevant to her state of mind to determine how or why she committed suicide. Really? This is another example, in my opinion, of police blaming their own bad conduct. She should have been in jail for that stupid crime. It was a turn signal for crying out loud. Now she's dead, and you want to blame it on pot?
You're getting the full melt.
Got something to hide? Canalock offers discreet and effective storage solutions that destroy odor, so nobody knows. Canalock is a patented charcoal-activated bag that discreetly stores your marijuana. Canalock is made from the same material as military chemical warfare suits. Get yours at Canalock.com. Visit Canalock.com to learn more about no-smell technology.
Imagine a world where patients can use marijuana like any other medicine. The Marijuana Patients Organization challenges the status quo by helping our neighbors to enjoy a better quality of life. Visit the MPO at marijuanapatients.org and enjoy informative articles, engaging debates, and information about treatments, doctors, and dispensaries in your area. Over 50,000 people have registered at marijuanapatients.org since 2010. Join us at the Marijuana Patients Organization today, marijuanapatients.org.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Door Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other hemp-based products for humans, the allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pet.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show. They're damn tootin' it is. Damn tootin', I say. Listen, I got to promote this event coming up in Jackson. I'm kind of salty about it a little bit because the event in Jackson that I'm about to tell you about happens to happen on the same day as my class reunions. It seems like it's my 50th annual class reunion. I'm talking about my high school class reunion. Ever been to one of those? Never been to one. I've never gone. I haven't done one. But I was going to do this one because, there were some people like, hey, why don't you come to the high school graduate, the reunion? And I thought, well, I've never been to one. I guess, well, maybe okay. I think I might do that. Where the heck is he at? I'm looking for the cheese. There he is. So the high school reunion happens to be on the same day, August 8th, as this event, the Poofapalooza. La Poofapalooza. It is an event happening in Jackson, Michigan on August 8th. Gates open at 11 a.m. Music starts at noon. It is a music fair event. Lots and lots of bands, some DJs, admissions $20. There's a light show. There's glass blowing. There's prizes. There's disc golf all weekend with a tournament on Sunday, which is $10 a person with a cart. I don't think there's any VIPs available. If there are, you might try and get a hold of Puff Danny out at the Glass Boutique on Fort Street in Wyandotte. He's at 3383 Fort Street in Wyandotte. Call him up. Look him up online because I don't have their number sitting right here. Call him up. Look him up online and call him and see if they have any VIP tickets because it's all inclusive. I think it even includes the camping and the whole 9 yards. Like you get the whole weekend. I think VIPs are $100. But they got camping out there for people. It's a great event. Puffapalooza.brownpapertickets.com is where you can buy tickets. Puffapalooza.brownpapertickets.com, Jackson, Michigan. It's a Trailer Park Drive at the Pine Hollow Golf Club, August 8th. The same day as my stupid graduation. It's not my graduation. It's my reunion of graduation. So, I'm trying to fix the time. I want to make sure that we're not leaving. I don't like it when we go overtime. When the show's finished, I like to see 60 minutes. I don't like to see 57. I don't like to see 68. It's an hour show, 60 minutes. It's 7 until 8 p.m., right? I don't know. Sometimes I want to go over. I don't mind going over a little bit, I suppose, if it's really important. But I think going under is stupid. And I think going over for no good reason is also stupid. So do that. Go out to the thing in Jackson. Don't go to my high school reunion because I'm not going to either. I think it's, I don't know. I guess I can live vicariously through Facebook pictures and such. Plus, I don't know. I know all those people anyways. I could go visit them on my own. I don't need to pay, $50 to sit around a punch bowl. I'm just saying. Couldn't we just all go out and hang out at the bar? Why do we got to rent a place and make it costly? I think I'll go spend $20 in Jackson and hang out there is what I think I'll do. Gosh, I'm still so excited about this business with the mobile app. I hope he's not jerking my chain because if he's tugging on my skirt and it's just all, pulling my leg, I'm not going to be happy about that. Then I'll be back to being angry for the day about technology. Angry guy about technology. I'm telling you, can I pull it up? I don't know. See, well, it won't let me do it. It just doesn't like me to do that. I'm going to try it anyways because I got nothing better to do for the last few minutes. There's all kinds of other stuff going on in the marijuana world, but I'm just, angry man today, I guess. What's this? Maybe I will talk. There is a couple of other things, and maybe I'll mention those instead. I was going to play because I got salty with this guy this morning. I was like, look, I'm going to record you. And he's like, no, you can't record me. Look, I don't need your permission. Your stupid phone already gave me permission when it said, hey, we're recording this line for customer service, improvement. And then I'm like, really? Well, if you can record the line in Michigan, it gives me permission to record the line too. So I went through like two operators who are like, no, you can't record me. I'm like, yes, I'm going to record you. And the guy's like, I'm going to give you to another operator. I'm like, F you. And then they gave me the same routine. You can't record me. I'm like, yes, I'm going to record you. Finally, I got the third one, and she's like, I don't care. Anyway. What I was going to tell you about was this other thing in Michigan. Because the other thing that nobody's paying attention to, it seems, is this, who? Oh, sweet. I'm doing a foster on an animal. I'm fostering a dog, and somebody texted me saying, hey, we might have a home for the foster dog. Oh, that would be so good because he's such a good boy. I mean, he's sitting at my feet right now. He's a pit bull. He's a pit bull. Rescued from North Detroit. He'd have been in a bag by morning if I didn't have somebody send him out there and escort him here to the property. And now I've taken him on big, long walks. I took him on a big, long 10-mile walk And so it's good if somebody actually found a home for him because I love him. He's a good boy, loves kids, loves children, and I'd like to see him go to a good home. Take advantage of every bit of opportunity he's got through this rescue. And thank you, Pause for Life, by the way, for helping out. Got to give a shout-out to the Pause for Life. I do that with cats, too. This thing in Michigan, just a couple minutes left in the program. The thing in Michigan that I wanted to point out was not only that the Michigan legalization campaign, according to MLive, is going really well. They got the money in place now. They got $100,000 in matching funds. They got about $250,000 in the tank. $250,000 for the MI Legalize campaign. Congratulations, guys. Because that money will attract other national money. We can pay to get these signatures circulated and collected. Double the amount of signatures we need, maybe. That would be awesome. And then turn those into the legislature before. We got to know before Christmas whether or not this is going to be on the ballot in 2016. So that's the one story. They got some money together. I didn't read you the whole story. We don't need to. Industry has been hiring lobbyists to ease banking access. According to the Wall Street Journal, lobbyists on board in Washington changing banking law. Once they get the lobbyists on board, you got to know that something's going to change. I mean, these guys are paid. They're paid and they know the law. Most of them are former legislators. It's all corrupt. It's so corrupt that you got to hire lobbyists to get anything done, really. But the other idea is that it seems like, in my opinion, these laws regarding in Michigan, there's a couple of bills they're trying to get through to allow for dispensaries and allow for oils, topical oils, or other medibles, other concentrated forms of cannabis. And the problem has been that the courts have determined that they are not covered immunity under the act. And so there's like any other street drug, they're going to prosecute you for a marijuana crime that you have no immunity for. And so these bills that we've been working on so hard for years and years have been hijacked, I'm telling you. They look nothing like the bills. It was supposed to be the local option bill. Local cities have the option as to whether or not you'll allow a dispensary, but the state will allow for them. And the other one's just a simple bill adding medibles to anti-concentrates to the list of covered conditions or covered immunities, including it in the act as usable marijuana. That might happen with these bills. Some of that might happen with these bills. A tiny bit of it. They're trying to change it so that it's like the alcohol industry here in Michigan. The legislators are scared that MI Legalize is going to pass that law, and they're reacting to it now by hijacking our own bills with the influence of money from other opposing ballot petitions. More coming up tomorrow.
The Full Melt Show is a production of TFM Media.